Michael, are you ready? All right, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I can ask for approval of the agenda this morning.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next, I can ask for consideration of approval of the minutes from January 24th, 25th, and 26th of 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve as stated.
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item I have is a consideration for claims for payment dated February 2nd, 2022.
Make a motion to approve the February 2nd, 2022 claims for payment.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Taylor, next thing up is consideration to approve the fiscal year 2022 Iowa DOT budget amendment.
Yep, so this is kind of just doing the last budget amendment you guys just did and giving it to the state. It's money in, money out. It's a project that was 100% reimbursable to us, so we just needed to show that we're spending the money, and we'll get it back. The project's already done, so it's better. Exactly.
I'll make a motion to approve the fiscal year 2022 Iowa DOT budget amendment.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Lance,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
BJ,
Aye. Motion carries. Next item I have is consideration to approve the contract for FM-CO42 sub 109-55-42.
So we have, this is for the Highway S75, our county line with Grundy. The project, we also went into Marshall County, so it is a 3-county project. So it's going to go from Liscum to just a half mile south of Whitten, that concrete portion. The project is they're going to bash the concrete, beat it up pretty good. We cover it with rock, put 4 inches of asphalt on top of that. It's the same process we just did to the road between Hardin and Providence. Worked pretty well. So that's kind of the plan. We had 4 bidders, which I can't complain about. And it was OMG Midwest is your low bidder. And apparently they used to be Sesford because we had never heard of these people. So, yep, no problem with it. We think go ahead with the contract. Marshall and Grundy said the same thing. Let's move forward with it. So we pay about 1/3 of the project then.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
You want to say the price out loud too?
Yeah, what was the
You got it.
$1,790,626.42. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next I have is a resolution to execute the contract of the same FM-CO42 sub 109-55-42.
Yeah, so this is just a resolution we do because everything is digital signing now, and you 3 have all been in the chair and know how annoyingly impossible it is to get this computer thing to work right. So yeah, you're just authorizing me to sign it for you.
I will make a motion to approve that resolution.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Jolene?
Lance,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
BJ,
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
You bet.
Okay. Next item I have is consideration of the formal request for funds by the Conservation Department.
Morning.
Good morning, Wes.
Yes, I've come to ask for some of the COVID money that was allocated for the county for our sewer project at the campground. Moving forward with that, trying to line up the remaining funds for that so we can move forward and have archaeological studies done and get the process going to get that septic line project started.
And then our budget meetings, just for the sake of the partnership that's going on here, can you explain who the partners are in the project as well?
Right, we're working with the city of Steamboat Rock, Hardin County Conservation, of course, and the DNR is also doing some work in that same area as as well, along with the dam project that's going on over there.
And then this will also, a couple people, residents of Steamboat Rock will be able to then utilize the sewer system.
Yes,
as
the
well.
current plan we have will allow them to tie into the septic line going by that are currently not on the city sanitation system. So it'll be
Improve the viability for the community
correct.
and some of those residents that, you know, made out sometime down the line, the septic system,
Yes.
you know, this keeps their viability of being a part of the community. So
Tell us why you need it.
Why we need it, we're looking at about a $355,000 project. It's going to get the county campground, Pine Ridge Campground, onto a more stable system. The system we have, we're limping along right now. It's been there for a very long time, and this will upgrade that. We can actually also tie the boat club building into this as well.
That you're an owner of now.
Yes, that we're now owners of as well. So the line will be going right through there and right by that, so we could hook that on as well. And then, just as BJ mentioned, for the city, those residents that, you know, weren't currently on the system can now get on there as well, so.
And you're utilizing some of this money as grant matching funds.
Yes, I'm going through a process with them because the rules that Jolene shared with me last week, I shared the grant we got was a walk-on grant with the National Park Service. And they were arguing back and forth that you couldn't use federal match to federal match, but those rules that were shared, I shared with the National Park Service, and it's now gone up the line to Washington to verify that we can indeed use those funds for that. So that's where that's at in the process. So this is why I'm here today, is just to kind of try to get things cinched up so we can, as soon as the weather allows and the conditions are right, we can get out and do the archaeological study and then get the process and the program or the project going.
Okay. Thank you, Wes. And one last question. And your board unanimously approved this request to us, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I will make a motion to approve the request from the Conservation Board for the $230,000 for the sewer project at the Pine Ridge Campground near Steamboat Rock.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
This is one thing that they definitely want this type of money to be spent on.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Jolene?
Lance,
Aye.
Renee,
Aye.
BJ,
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Wes.
Thanks, Wes.
Thanks for the work of your board and the cooperation between the City of Steamboat Rock and the Department of Natural Resources. So next I have is a alcoholic beverages permit for Meadow Hills Golf Course in Iowa Falls. The effective date would be April 15th, 2022 to October 15th, 2022.
Make motion to approve the alcohol permit for Meadow Hills Golf Course. It's Class B permit, 6 months, April 15th to October 15th of 2022.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next item I have is consideration with possible action on the Pictometry agreement for aerial imagery. Morning, Jessica.
Good morning. Okay, so this is the agreement that Pictometry has sent us. They are the ones who do the flyovers for our aerial imagery that's on Beacon. And then on the Pictometry website that multiple offices use. I had Daryl look this over and compare it to our contract from 2016. Just to make sure everything looked okay. And he said everything looked fine. For the most part, from what he understood. There's some technical jargon in there that he wasn't super familiar with, but I spoke with the person who sent the contract and they confirmed everything's pretty much the same as it was last year. So what this contract is for a flight in the spring of 2023 and then another flight in spring of 2026. So these would both be flights that there are no leaves on the trees or very minimal leaves on the trees, so we can see all the buildings and stuff better. We would be getting 3-inch, which is probably doesn't really mean anything to you, but 3-inch imagery in town, and then 6-inch oblique imagery in the county, so it's really good resolution. And so our contract from 2016 was for a total of $213,400, and that's over 6 years. And then so this one is for $222,156, and that's also over 6 years. So the cost is split between 4 different departments, and each department is paying just a few $100s more per year. For that, it's just an increase in price just due to technology changes. So
What are the 4 departments?
there's the general fund, which is actually coming out of your guys' budget, the assessor's office, 911, so Thomas, and then Taylor's office, so the engineer's office. Their secondary. So a couple things, well, really just one thing I think to point out in this, which it actually worked out. It was very coincidental. Our flight in 2020 happened right after the derecho, like the day after the derecho. So that was just very coincidental, but in this contract is also, we get disaster flyover. So if we have like a tornado or a hurricane or something like that, where there's a lot of damage, they'll fly up to 200 square miles included in this contract. So we don't have to pay additional for it to get,
Really?
yeah, imagery of a disaster.
Nice.
Yeah, so, and then another thing is, usually we have to wait for them to compile the imagery and send it to us, but part of this one is we get early access, and so as that imagery is getting uploaded to their service, we get to see it as it's getting uploaded, so we don't have to wait for it to get delivered to us, so just a small incentive, but you guys have any questions?
Is this gonna be flown then this spring?
Spring 2023, so next year. Yeah, so this is just getting.
Okay, spring
this
23 and
next budget
26.
year.
Okay, you did say that.
And everybody budgeted for it.
Yeah, we've talked about that in
Yeah.
our budget meeting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Jessica.
Thanks.
I'll make a motion to approve the pictometry agreement for aerial imagery.
Second,
I have a motion, and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next item I have is consideration of the compensation board recommendations with possible action. So the compensation board met on December 9th, 2021, and their suggested increases for fiscal year 22-23 for county attorney 9%, auditor 9%, recorder 9%, sheriff 20%, supervisors 9%, treasurer 9%. So
They had a difficult task, and it's difficult for us to work within too. They were mandated by the state for the sheriffs to make that comparable to, what was that, like every office in the state.
City police chiefs, DCI.
So that was a difficult task on theirs. After talking to the sheriff, and I don't know if I talked to the other elected officials, I would cut that into a third as a recommendation. But I'm not sure if we want to make this recommendation today to be approved, or until after we have the budget, final numbers of the budget in.
I think I would prefer to wait to see what the budget comes in. I don't have as much of a problem with the majority of these, but we also have to think about the trickle down effect that it'll probably have when everybody thinks they need to pass down the 9%.
Excuse me, I said that wrong, cut it down a third.
Yes,
not into a third.
yeah, okay, that's what I. So I would prefer to wait until we have a better idea on the budget.
AJ, where are you at?
I would be ready to act today, but I believe that the compensation board did their work. They worked within the Iowa code. It was the same process that they've used in the past, but when it's given the blue bill, it did throw a definite hurdle into that, and there are some shalls in there rather than mays or cans or if you want. So, but speaking for myself, I'd be ready to act today, but we can easily bring it to a vote and go that direction.
I just want to make clear, I have no problems with the 20% for the sheriff.
Agreed.
And
Yeah.
I would like to see that happen. So I just kind of feel between a rock and a hard spot at this point. I think it's well deserved. I think it's great direction that they put that office in to be compared with the rest of the law enforcement officials. So I have no problem with the 20%. So I would make a motion to defer this to a later date.
Table.
Yeah. I'll table it.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second to table. Any other discussion?
So after that, we get the final numbers on the budget.
Sure. Okay, so table into after the preliminary compiled budget are
Yes.
presented. Okay. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
No, nay.
All right, next item we have is change of status in the secondary roads department. I have the resignation of Marty Brooks, office manager at the salary of $20.29 an hour, effective on February 2nd, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
You do a good job. Found a job closer to home that pays better. We all get that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, I have a pair of change of status, or one change of status at the sheriff's office. It will be the hiring of Jacob James McIntyre Jr., hired as a correctional officer at the rate of $18.90 an hour.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next I have is a change of status in the Hardin County Auditor's Office. It's a salary increase to a rate of $19.14 an hour for Jamie Geisler due to increased responsibilities effective February 7th, 2022.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Other business.
Daryl, I see one of the statements out there is what happened to those ordinances that we're looking at doing. You had us pull them off the table.
The ditch mowing.
Yeah.
I've kind of just gotten tied up with some other things, so I'm sure it'll be on an agenda item sometime this month.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And no, I don't.
All right, Renee,
Nothing.
I have nothing. With that, I can ask for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Thank you.